Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Between the frantic pace of a table read, late-night writing sessions, rehearsals, and actually performing comedy on live TV, being a Saturday Night Live host is as much a challenge as it is a privilege. And that's twice as true for those who've been host and musical guest in the same episode. A feat that's known as pulling double duty on SNL, like the SNL 5-Timers Club. The celebrities who've pulled double duty on Saturday Night Live are an elite crew. Since the show's premiere in 1975, less than 50 stars have done it. When you consider the fact that over 900 episodes of SNL have aired over 49 seasons, it's a truly rare occurrence, and one that takes a lot of guts to pull off. As the list below reveals, 2 host musical guests are also members of the 5-Timers Club. Hint: one of them won several Emmys for their R-rated musical collaborations with Andy Samberg. 5 have been coaches on The Voice, and 3 have returned as recently as season 49 to only perform as the musical guest. From Paul Simon to Britney Spears, the Rolling Stones, yes, the entire band, to Dua Lipa, here is every celebrity who's been host and musical guest in the same episode. You'll notice a few here, such as Deion Sanders, who technically welcomed another artist as musical guest. But if they also performed at least 2 songs on the Studio 8A stage while they were host, it's on this list because we're completists. Musician Paul Simon was the second ever host of Saturday Night Live. He's also the 4th person to host SNL 5 times, first pulling double duty in the show's experimental 1970s era, before it settled into the format we know today, back when the show was still called NBC's Saturday Night. Like many early double-duty SNL hosts/musical guests, Simon was joined by fellow musicians for several performances, such as Art Garfunkel in 1975, ex-Beatle George Harrison in 1976, and Graceland collaborators Ladysmith Black Mambazo in 1986. Comedy icon Lily Tomlin's 1975 SNL debut found her singing with Howard Shore and the all-nurse band. She was one of the nurses, and returned for double duty again in 1983 when she performed as a singer named Purvis Hawkins. This one is a teeny bit of a technicality, as Kristofferson's then-wife Rita Coolidge was officially billed as musical guest. But Kristofferson performed a duet with Coolidge, followed by a solo performance of his own. That's double duty in our book. Seeing Ray Charles perform What I Say and I Got a Woman live in Studio 8H back in 1977 must have been incredible. Comedians Buck Henry and Franklin Ajay were also on hand to add levity. Paul Simon's former musical partner got his own double-duty stint in 1978, with singer-songwriter Stephen Bishop as a special guest performing On and On. There were way more musical performances in the first few seasons. Garfunkel covered Sam Cooke's What a Wonderful World in his monologue, later delivering All I Know and a solo version of Simon and Garfunkel's Scarborough Fair. The Rock Hall of Famers performed now classics Shattered and Beast of Burden, plus Respectable, in an episode where the monologue was delivered by then-Mayor Ed Koch. While the band wouldn't host again, it was just the beginning for Mick Jagger, who's appeared on SNL as recently as season 49. The eclectic musician had been a musical guest in 1976 during season 10, and returned as host and musical guest 2 years later. Zappa performed Dancin' Fool, The Meek Shall Inherit Nothing, and Rollo, and starred in a Conehead sketch. This one's another technicality, as jazz composer Eubie Blake and actor, singer, and tap dancer Gregory Hines, who was starring in a musical about Blake's life at the time, were billed musical guests. But Busey, who just starred in the Buddy Holly story as the titular rocker, also performed the song Stay All Night, Stay a Little Longer, in the night's 4th musical number. Musician and sometime actor Debbie Harry's episode is historic, though not for Harry's sketch performances. While the Blondie frontwoman performed the songs Love TKO and Come Back Joni, she also welcomed hip-hop group Funky 4+1, and their now classic That's the Joint was the first ever rap performance to be aired on television. Sting has plenty of experience on the Studio 8A stage, as he's been musical guest 4 times and hosted for a second time on March 15, 1997. His double-duty stint was the perfect 90s SNL episode. There was a Wayne's World cold open, and it was the debut of 3 iconic sketches: Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey, Mike Myers' Coffee Talk, and Rob Schneider's Rich Meister Office Guy. Toward the end of the height of the You Can't Touch This rapper's fame, he was a season 17 host and musical.